Does it feel like you're growing old before your time? Have you lost touch with your fun side, your playful side? Have you lost touch with your inner child, your childlike energy? That just freedom energy. We've been conditioned to grow up way too early. We've been conditioned to repress our childlike sense of wonder because we have to be serious. We have to live life a certain way. There's this quote, we don't grow old because we stop playing. No, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. This is the thing. We need to keep playful. We need to bring that inner child energy out in order to remain youthful. We're being conditioned to, believe that age is more than a number. That age is, we're old when we get to a certain age, that we need to get something done before we're 30 or we're doing it wrong. Times have changed. And this is the thing. We are getting younger by the minute. As we awaken to our truth, we are awakening back into our youthful selves. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. This is the thing. Oh, this bugs me. You know what I mean? People say from a certain age, I'm getting old now. If you keep saying you're getting old, guess what? You're going to get fucking old. This is Jesus. We've been conditioned to believe that you get to a certain age and you're old, you're past your time. And this is with women as well in menopause. Early onset menopause. You know why early onset menopause comes? Because the woman is afraid that she's going to get menopause. Fear attracts what you fucking fear. So, there's women in their early 40s going, I'm getting old, and then they get old. This is bullshit. And this is the thing, like if you saw a picture of a 30-year-old woman 50, 60 years ago, she would have looked like what my granny looked like at 70. You know what I mean? We are changing. And this is something I've read lately. And, I truly believe people lived longer before man, created fear in the people and control. When we lived from our souls, when we lived through spirituality and meditation, we were alive for hundreds of years. And now it's like we say, we're at a certain age and we can't do this or can't do that. This is fucking bullshit. I remember this documentary, I think it was brought out in the 80s. They took elderly people out of a nursing home and put them into a house to fend for themselves, cook, clean, everything for themselves. Now, initially they said, I was seized up. It was painful. I couldn't do this thing for myself. But the minute they started doing things for themselves again, the minute they started feeling younger, they felt more confident. This is the thing. When a person gets older, we mollycoddle them. Don't do that. Don't hurt yourself. And this is it. People are getting older before their time because we're not allowing them to remain youthful. And this bugs me. When we're children, we're told, you can't do that, it's childish. You need to grow up. You need to grow up and get a job. You can't do that. And in this country, especially in Ireland, us girls, we have to leave primary school at 11, 12 years of age and go into secondary school. And literally, overnight, we have to go from being a child into being a fucking woman. We have to start shaving our legs at 12. This is bullshit, and trying to be a woman at 12 because we're in this energy of, trying to be a teenager early. We're told not to be playful, youthful. I was in a relationship in my 20s with a guy, a narcissist, 17 years older than me. I lived the old life. I looked like I was 50 when I was in my 20s. I'll tell you this, when you don't move, when you don't use your body, when you don't exercise and eat healthily, you are going to get old before your time. You really are. Because in my 20s, I remember, like fucking yesterday, I'd be on the couch and I'd be getting up going, oh, Jesus, and I'd be creaking, getting up off the couch in my fucking 20s. And now I'm in my 30s, I'm more young than I ever was. I feel younger than I was in my 20s. And, when in my early 30s, when I was getting asked for, I was still drinking, I was getting asked for ID. The other day, I had to give my date of birth for something, and your one was like, Jesus, I wasn't expecting that date of birth. I thought you were in your 20s. This is the thing. We can stay young forever. We really can. There's another quote, the secret is to die young as late as possible. This is it. We are conditioned to believe that, you're getting old, so you can't do this. Age is only a fucking number. And I've seen this with people. It's too late to start again. I'm too old to start a new project. If any of you ever seen the movie Rainbow Land, it's actually about a man in his 70s that was spiritually awakening and actually figured his life purpose out in his fucking 70s. If a man in his 70s can do it, anyone can do it. Age is only a fucking number. And this is the thing. And, you know, I shared this little video yesterday. There's a little poem on it about letting the children play in the mud, right? And oftentimes we're told as children, don't play in the mud, you're going to get fucking dirty. Oh, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? Let them be playful. Let them get covered in mud. And, you know, I used to be like this at one stage in my 20s as well. You know, and I have dogs. And if the dog made me dirty, I'd be like, for fuck's sake, you know, trying to clean it off. It was like, I can't change my clothes. Why? And, like, you know, this kind of energy of, like, you know, can't get dirty. Like, I used to bake, I used to do gardening, right, like that, because it's messy. And I was like, I'm not cleaning up that mess. It's a pain in the hole to clean up the fucking mess. It's not. Because now in my 30s, I'm actually doing gardening, I'm doing baking. I'll go out and fucking get muddy in the forest, you know what I mean? And I love it. I love bringing my inner child out to play. And this is the beauty of inner child healing. When we rediscover our inner child or, you know, reintroduce ourselves to them, we can get playful. We can watch cartoons again. And that's another fucking thing. When I was in my narcissistic relationship in my 20s, I love watching Disney. I love watching cartoons. But my ex was like, you can't do that. It's fucking childish. And I remember when we broke up and Toy Story was on and he, you know, we were still living in the same house, but he was out. And I was like literally watching Toy Story and I was standing there with the remote in my hand because I was like, I'm not supposed to be watching this. I'm not supposed to be watching this. This is the energy I was in my 20s, feeling like if he came in, he'd give out to me. And I realised at that moment, I was like, I love being a child, you know, and I love watching cartoons. But when I discovered inner child healing, I got to bring my inner child out to play again. You know, I started being creative, you know, drawing again. You know, and now I do bake and I love making a mess. Or do, you know, a bit of gardening and I love making a mess. Because it's fun. You know, and we need to start being youthful again. If you want to stay young, feel young, then do something about it. Don't sit there and go, I'm getting old, because then you're going to get fucking old. You know what I mean? Sit there and say, I'm staying young forever. And this actually works. It really fucking does. You know what I mean? And if you're not putting, like, you know, when I was in my 20s as well, not only was I with that narcissistic guy who was 17 years older than me, so that made me old before my time, I was also drinking every single fucking day. And I mean getting drunk every day. I was smoking cigarettes, you know, I was smoking weed a lot. You know, everything was deteriorating. Stress. Being in the wrong relationship. You know, that woman the other day who took my date of birth, she was like, Jesus, what's your secret? And I was just thinking for a minute, like, what's different? And I was like, it's because I'm single. But it's not necessarily because I'm single. It's because I'm not in a stressful relationship. The next time I get into a relationship, it'll be happy and harmonious, you know, and it will be on my level. Whereas, like, you know, being in a stressful, you know, disharmonious relationship is going to make you old. Taking alcohol is going to make you old. You know what I mean? And this is it. If we don't look after ourselves and our bodies, we're going to be old. As I said, I was getting up off the couch creaking in my fucking 20s. Now I'm flying around the fucking place because I look after myself. I do a little bit of exercise. But it's not even about the exercise part. Obviously, we need to do a little bit of exercise. You know, I only learned this in the last year. But we need to do that to remain youthful and remain healthy. But it's about being playful. This is what we're so fucking serious. Oh my God, it's just like life does not have to be so serious. You do not have to grow up. Please don't grow up. You know, I actually said that to my brother lately. We were speaking about the snow and stuff. And, you know, he was just describing how, you know, excited they were and, you know, sliding down the hill and stuff. And I was like, oh, I love you. I love it. Please, John, don't ever grow up. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, I just don't grow up, please. And I love remaining in that childlike wonder. You get to see stuff through the eyes of a child again. And that's amazing because you get to see everything with love instead of just passing by something and just going whatever. Like this simple thing of seeing things in nature, seeing a bug. You know what I mean? Whereas before, we're like, ew, the bug. You know, now as a childlike nature energy, I will see the bug or the spider or whatever, and I will say, wow, that is a beautiful creature. You know, I picked up a bit of moss one day, and there was little water particles in it. I even took a picture of it, and I was like, that's beautiful. You know what I mean? We get to experience life in a better way if we remain youthful. And we get to stay young forever. I will keep repeating that. We can stay young forever. This is it. We were conditioned to believe, and this is another fucking thing, dis-ease and illness was created by man so that they could make fucking money off people. When we lived in our spirituality, and I mean thousands of years ago, I'm not saying back in the early days, thousands of years ago, when we lived through spirituality and meditation and with, in connection with Mother Earth, with nature, we remained young for a lot longer. This is the thing. And we've been conditioned to grow up too early, and especially for me, I grew up in a broken home. I don't like saying that, actually. It was just my mother left when we were toddlers, so I grew up with just my dad and my brother. So I was kind of forced to grow up early. Obviously, getting into secondary school at 12 and you need to become a woman. But I was washing my clothes from 12 years of age as well because, I was a girl, and I wanted my own privacy and stuff. But that's the thing, I was forced to grow up early. I moved out of home, the weekend of my leaving cert. I was just turned 18, 3 months, and I moved out of home because we're forced to grow up and be independent very, very quickly. And this is the thing, we suppress then our childlike energy. And I've always been that fun, eccentric side of me. And it was only when I got into those toxic relationships in my 20s that I lost my youthful side. Because I was told, just grow up, you're too childish, you can't do that, you can't do that. And it was just, no. And this is the thing, we do this with children. It's we reprimand them for drawing on the wall. You can fucking paint over it. You can wash their clothes if they get muddy. You know what I mean? Let them have fun. Let them jump in the puddles. You jump in the puddles. Why are we walking around the fucking puddles? Let's all jump in the puddles. Let's have fun. Let's just be childlike. I love going to a playground. I appointed myself as self-appointed slide tester because some slides don't work, so I have to try them out. I love going to a playground. I love going to an amusement park. I love being a fucking child. I love watching Disney movies. I just love it. You know what I mean? And it makes me so happy. Even starting this video, I was giddy. I could just feel myself getting all giddy because my inner child is coming out to play as I speak about this, and it just makes me feel like a big child at Christmas because I love expressing that part of myself. And I just love being a kid. You know what I mean? And I think that's so beautiful. And I've seen this with relationships as well. The woman is there kind of going, oh, you need to grow up to the husband. And it's you can't be a child anymore. You need to grow up. You need to be mature for be a dad. But the best thing for a child is to have a playful parent, whether it be the mother or father, because you're not fucking, you know what I mean? Being too serious as a parent is actually really restrictive for the child. You need to be playful with them so that the two of you can remain in your youthful energy. And this makes you younger. You know what I mean? Being stressed, growing up too quickly, it ages you. It really does. You know what I mean? If we keep saying, I need to be this kind of maturity, we can still do adult things and still remain childlike and youthful. This is so important. We don't have to repress our childlike energy just to do normal or not normal, responsible things, adult things. You know what I mean? I can still do those responsible things. I live on my own. Of course, I have to be an adult, but I get to live in a childlike energy all the time. This sense of wonder, dancing around the kitchen, it's just this kind of energy. I talk to myself a lot. I make up words just because I like to bring in a little bit of playfulness into my life. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's exciting. Play with your animals. Just be playful, be childlike. And this word childish, I fucking hate the word childish. We're not being childish, we're being childlike. This is so important. Stop telling people, oh, don't be so childish. Tell them to be more childlike. This is what it's all about. This is so, so important. So if you want to remain youthful in your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, what you need to do is bring your inner child out to play. You really need to start living in a childlike wonder. You have to start being creative again. And people are like, this is another part when I discovered with my inner child healing and my spiritual awakening. We've all said, I'd love to be more creative. You can be more creative. Just draw. And who cares if you do it bad? Practice makes perfect. You know, when I started drawing again, I was tracing stuff and it was still fun. Still fun to colour it in. And then I started freehanding because I was able to, because of a bit of practice, and I didn't give up. So bring that energy back in. You do some colouring, do some drawing, do some baking. Do you know, make that mess. Go jump in a fucking puddle. Go on a slide. Go on the playground. If your kids are in the playground, this is the thing, you know, go on those things with them because it's so much fun. I swear to God, it's really, really fun. So, you know, there's so many things we can do to remain youthful. And one thing in particular is don't keep saying you're getting old and you can't do stuff, because this is going to make you fucking old. All you have to do is say, I'm fucking young. I feel young. I feel youthful, and I will never grow fucking old. And you know fucking what? I'm going to stay young forever because of that. You know what I mean? I watch this. I watch the world around me getting older, and I'm like, I feel like I'm going to stop. I feel like I'm in a freeze and I'm going to remain like this forever because I look after myself and because I'm fucking happy. Happy, playful and childlike. This is what's keeping me young. That childlike heart, that childlike soul is what will keep you young forever. So switch your mindset from fearing that you're getting old to saying I'm getting young. Every year on my birthday, I will say I'm getting another year younger. And you know what? Yes, I am. I might be fucking 37 in a month, but effectively I'm actually only 27 because that's how I feel. I'm getting 1 year younger every year, and that's how I feel. You know what I mean? I'm Benjamin Buttoning this shit. Like, is that the one? Is that, I don't know, the movie anyway where he goes back into the baby form. This is kind of a metaphor for that. We're not actually physically going to turn into babies, but we can mentally turn into, or, you know, be our inner children, be one with our inner child. This is what we do to stay young, and it's that simple. That is the secret to staying young. It's not about Botox or any of that shit, because that's fucking fake. This is about feeling young, being childlike, and remaining youthful. This is how we remain. That's the best anti-ager you'll ever have, is happiness and telling yourself that you're going to be young forever. Stop using that word old. It's not, no, get rid of it. You are getting younger. And the more you open up to your authenticity, the more you open up to the truth within your soul, the more you play with your inner child, the younger you will get. This, I promise. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today. And I'd love nothing more than to help you on your path.